Subscribe. So this was about like 2 years ago. I bought this Radial Arm Saw. This is most of it. The big pieces are over there, but I bought it. It was functioning, but it didn't look very good, so I pulled it all apart and just kept pulling further and further and further until it looked like this, which is just pieces. I also want to repaint the base. I was going to sandblast the base, but my sandblaster was having a lot of trouble. Eventually my compressor went out. I don't really want to buy a compressor, so I think I'm just going to use the orbital and sand the flat surfaces, everything I can get, paint it, put it together, and call it good. Gonna sand that. It looks pretty good, honestly. This is in fine shape. Yeah, that's fine. Polished a little bit and it'll be fine. Yeah, that's nasty. Two of the major components are over there in the corner, but this is what we're working at today, and all we have to do, actually, to get this going, is sand this, prime it, paint it, sand this, prime, paint, and then we can start assembling, and I have to remember how all this junk goes together. I'd really love to sandblast this thing, but I don't want to buy a compressor right now. Primer first. Let's go. Now with a beautiful Craftsman gray. Most beautiful gray on the planet. At least if you like Craftsman. I feel like I should roll my sleeves up before I start working on this. I remember there being a whole lot of grease involved with this mechanism. So I should probably put grease on the shaft, grease on the gib blocks. Should probably put grease on the shaft here, this threaded shaft. I'm missing some hardware, I think. I'm gonna have to buy some stuff. That's okay, I'll probably end up replacing all of it. Call this shaft a little better. I'm calling everything a shaft. I call this a shaft, I call that a shaft, and I call that a shaft. They're all shaft. A little bit of grease. The only contact is right here and right here. Okay, that's contact. Now we're gonna put some in this hole where this doohickey gib goes. Gib block 1. Run along this back shaft. Looks good. And the gib, pop that in there. We're also gonna grease up this shaft here where the threads will go in. I think that's about it that needs grease. Same way it came out. Generally a good idea. That block stuck in there pretty good, so I think we're fine. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Don't think so. Short bolts go on the back. I watched the video that I have already edited, and it all comes from the right. They're all rusty, but that doesn't really bother me that much. And we're gonna have to supplement here. And these have locks on the other side for the nuts. They thought about it in the 70s when they made this thing, huh? It's coming. Oh, I forgot the gear shaft. Of course I did. I knew there was something major. Oh, straight. I'm just gonna WD-40 these. I don't think I want grease on there. I don't think so. It worked. I do have enough bolts. Look at that. This is the most boring YouTube video on YouTube. You should subscribe. Now, it's a choice of picking which hardware we think would work. I think I'm straight so far. These go here. And then this one is an oddball. Probably goes here. Yeah, they're a little bit tighter. Not quite tight yet.
Too much touches. I'm going to go back around and do all of them. Now we'll give it a good crank. Don't go too crazy. Just good and tight.
We're going to take out the nut that I painted over. I painted over it because they painted over it last time. And because I don't have a functioning sandblaster, it'll be quite difficult to get the paint off. I also didn't want to replace it. These ones are crazy important. This is what keeps your entire machine square. Maybe a giant mistake, but I'm going to try to put this thing in. And I'm not actually working on this specifically, so it shouldn't affect it too much. It's hard to touch, so. This is what was so fun last time I did this.
Looks like a radial arm saw again.
The bolts that go here, there's 4 bolts. I only have 3. I think I'm only going to put in 2. I'm just going to get new ones. But for the sake of installation, I'm going to put them, and for the sake of the video, I'm going to put them in now. This is supposed to be like a big reveal, but it's not actually that great underneath, so it's not going to be too big of a reveal. Just checking to make sure the miter function works, and it does, but boy, it's got a lot of wiggle in it, okay? We can fix that, luckily. Because of these 2 little screws right there that hit that gib block on the inside. It actually is pronounced gib, believe it or not. You want to say jib because it's G, but it's actually gib, which is weird, but anyway. This hits that block and it tightens everything up. Okay, we're gonna get the, whatever you call this thing, set. It doesn't sound very good. I reckon it'll work. I had to forget something, right? Bolt needs to go in here. I might, yeah. I figured out the problem. There's a little holes on the side there that goes into, and that goes on there. I'm gonna put this on while you're at it, I guess. It's gonna have to be sanded down because I can't finish it with anything besides paint. I don't really want to paint it, so it's just gonna be bright finish, smooth, whatever. We're gonna see if we can buff this thing and make it look a little bit better than it does right now, because it doesn't look too amazing. I think I figured it out. This interacts with this, the different tensions and stuff. So it's very important to get this right. Good. Now it looks like something could happen, yes? Unlock it. And you slide around and then you can lock it nice and tight. And it's not quite tight there, and then you do this. And no movement whatsoever, look at that. Now I can put this little guy back in. This door stop at the end here. If anybody knows why radial arm saws aren't around anymore, you should tell me, because that would be great to know. Because they're just so cool. Like, why would you not want something that could cut tendons and be a table saw and a chop saw and like everything at once? I mean, I guess they're more dangerous, but that's like dangerous and everything, you know? Why is there a reverse thread on here at all? There should be no reverse threads. Wrong too, they can't both be wrong. I think radial arm saws are super cool, but apparently manufacturers do not think they're really cool. Fun fact, The radial arm saw was invented by Raymond DeWalt, which you may not know the name, but you could probably figure out who Raymond DeWalt is. Pretty cool guy. And should be on this side. 6. Little groove right there. It goes in, as I thought it did. Big holes. Okay. Still don't have a handle, so that's fun. Next up, blade guard assembly, which looks something like this. Ah, there she is in all her glory. I'm going to attempt putting this saw in. I'm going to say attempt because I think it's not going to work. Oh, so close. So close. Okay, I pulled it out and I made the slot a little bit bigger. Hopefully it'll actually fit now. We'll see. That's great. Whoa. Yeah. Aha! So one big flaw is I can't actually cut 45s without cutting into my table a tiny bit. I don't really care because it's like this is the radial arm saw table. So if I cut it, it's not really that big of a problem. I'm not going to be cutting 45. I didn't design this area for that, so I don't really care that much. So this is the spot where the handle's supposed to go that you turn to move the machine up and down. And it's a little bit cumbersome to do this, so I don't really want to do this anymore, especially without, if I had a pair of vice grips, it wouldn't be so bad, but I don't want to do that. I want to have a handle. I have this, which is a piece of packing material from a fan, actually 2 fans that we bought. They both came with one of these. I kept them because it looked really cool, and I thought they would be interesting for something. This might be the interesting something. That, and then we're going to do that again. We're going to try to make a triangle. I'm not going to succeed. That's pretty close. I should mark center. One in, out. Let's cut that. Subscribe right now. Test. Does not fit. Okay, I got to fit. Yeah! Route the edges, I think, to make it look a little nicer. Or maybe we'll actually use a belt sander. Give it some real shape. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna put some oil on it and kind of brings out some of those darker spots. Okay. Very, very, very near center. We're gonna kind of get all the stuff moving at once, and we're gonna make a triangle. Cut that out. I actually roll the flat back a little bit further so we can go farther back. I went too far. No, I didn't go too far. We can get this thing back there. It'll be a little bit more difficult. We are drilled, tapped. everything we need. Orientation right there. Okay. Looks kind of like it should be in like Sesame Street or something. I don't know. Even though it's big and orange, I think it has to be one of the best radial arm saw handles there are. That's the best part of this build right there. Change your lighting here. How's that? Can you see a little better now? I think I'm gonna border this piece. I'll probably put 45s in the edges, 1/4 inch banding around it, just to make it look better. Check for flatness, or parallelism, I guess it would be, in between the table and the saw. Oh yeah, we're out. Oh. It's a lot closer. Probably wouldn't even notice. This is a M10 tap. I think this actually works better when you're going metric to English versus metric to metric, because this is actually just under 10 millimeters on the outside diameter. So I think I can tap this hole, which is a 3/8. We've got concrete in it. This should be super easy, considering it's sheet metal. There we go, now we're tapped. So we can buy some M10 bolts. We can stick them in those holes, and that will be our height adjustment. Yeah, it may thread, it may not. Okay, we went to both the warring parties, and we got different things. I went to Home Depot, because they carry Diablo. But I'm not getting a Diablo blade, I got an Avanti Pro blade. But Avanti Pro blades, I didn't know this, but they're all in cahoots with Diablo. It's all made by Freud, so I feel okay with that. 10mm bolts. Because they're metric, and we're not English, or the rest of the world, they come in little bags like this, which means they're twice as expensive as they should be. Buttons down there. No, that works. Alright, let's go a little bit higher. That's touching. So we can move up that much. I don't want to do this yet. I want to put these bolts in. No, it won't fit. I bet I could thread it in. It's a little bit weird, but I happen to have a bunch of razor blades. And razor blades are very thin pieces of metal. So I could take a razor blade and I could put it right in here on the front and shim it up. See how many it takes to get it almost parallel, because I'd rather have parallel with the rest of this table. And the best place to do it would be right there, so the base stays in place where it's level with the table. It's a lot better. So we're gonna put 2 razor blades. Dry erase marker. Yep, it marked them all. Okay, good. It was going some. Done. Terrible lighting, but we are not done yet. We need a fence, obviously. We also don't have a handle. I'm not crazy worried about that, honestly. We're gonna take this piece and we're gonna split it in half. And that is going to be our fence. So I came up with a really crummy mounting system that's going to allow me some maneuverability, but it's still really stupid looking. Square this beautiful thing. Oh no, I won't fit it. Pretty. Okay, this has been a absolutely crazy experience. Refurbishing, rebuilding, repainting, everything you could possibly do to a tool. I pretty much did on this tool. Readjusting, resquaring, shimming up, everything that can be done to make a tool better than it was, I did to this tool. I think I probably know more about the inside of a radial arm saw than like most people that have radial arm saws now, because I actually took apart the entire thing. Everything is basically new as far as, well, it is new. This new handle, new table, new fence. I had to build all that. This is a really, really fun thing to do. I actually really like just restoring tools like this. It's actually really exciting. Is this actually woodworking's most dangerous tool? It's up there. I mean, if it's not the most dangerous tool in woodworking, a jointer is probably close, because that's really dangerous. But this thing's like a giant spinning blade with not a very good guard, and it also moves, which is just like crazy sketch. Anyway, this is really fun to do. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Please come back for more videos just like this one. Like this video, it really helps me out in the analytics for YouTube. Please comment and tell me what you liked about this video, even though I know it's really hard to actually pin down what you liked about it. But you watched to the end, so you must have liked something about it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next one.